Hello friends, my name's Janna. Thanks for stopping by my channel today. I have got a fun project to do today. I think it's fun anyway. And so what I wanted to do was play with this Just a Note Dies stamp set. I hadn't played with it yet, and they've already got it on. I shouldn't say already. It doesn't seem like they've had it for very long, but it's on the Last Chance list, and it's only, this die set's only $12 and something right now as of yesterday when I looked at it in the inventory. So there are 10 dies in this set, and I just thought it was so cute for well, for whatever you want to use it for. But I love the note paper, like it's been torn out of a wire binder thing. So I'm going to cut that out, and I've got some stuff ready here to use. So I've got this piece of paper, and I want to cut the little heart paper clip out. And I've got a piece of foil paper in here for that, or cardstock. That's not it. There we go. I think those are the only two things I need to die cut. Now this paper, if you're curious where that came from, it's from a paper pad I've had in my stash for probably a long time. It's called Basics Manila paper pad, and it is from Basic Gray. Yeah, this has the year 2009, so I guess I've had it in my stash for a while. It's amazing how fast the years go by. Okay, let me pull in my little die cutting machine here. Hi, Patty. All right, so I'm gonna use that. And I know this isn't exactly notebook paper, but you know, it will work. Hopefully my piece is big enough here. I think it is. Oh, I love that little like 14 that's up there. I'm not going to use that, but let me see if I can get this straight on here and not, okay, I think it's going to fit. So you could just use plain paper, or, you know, if you wanted like this to have the notebook paper look. I think there's lots of different ones out there now that have that. Is that still sticky enough? We will find out. Let me grab another. See if some of this will work. I just put lotion on my hands, so it might not. It's probably going to pick up the lotion. Okay, yep, I think we're within the cut lines there, so let's see if I can make this work. I need music playing in the background. I've still got a little piece left I can use for something else. Okay, cute. And then, so there's the little heart paper clip. There's some of these dies cut two things out at one time and they're connected, so that's nice. There's these paper clips. There's all kinds of different paper clips in here, and clamps and things. Plus you get the little heart and the star. Okay, but I'm gonna cut this out, and what did I do with my, here it is, my little piece of gold. Okay, so there is our little paper clip. Cute. And let me put this back on here so I don't lose it. And I will just put it back in the package even. So again, this is called the Just a Note dies. And like I said, they are on sale. They're getting rid of these at Stampin' Up. So $12 and change for this die set right now, which I think is a pretty good deal. Okay, so those were the only two things I needed to die cut. So next, I'm going to do a bit of stamping on this, and I'm going to stamp with Sweet Miss Daisy Designs stamp set called Correspondence Bits, and I'm using this with it's actually a little letter that her grandfather, I believe it is, sent to her grandmother. So I think that's cool. So I've already got it mounted on a stamp block, and I am going to stamp with black. My Memento Tuxedo Black, and let me just slide that up there so hopefully I don't lose it. Looks like I got that inked up a little bit much, but that's okay. All right, there we go with that. And then I really only have a little bit more to stamp, and we'll be done with the stamping part. But before I stamp, because I want to make sure I get my stamping where I want it, I'm going to do some tearing on this piece. Now this is this was from Stampin' Up's Hello Irresistible Designer Series paper. This is retired paper, but I wanted to do a little bit of tearing. I cut this to our regular card size, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, but I really plan on just tearing off that extra 1/4 of an inch. I didn't do this tearing bit on my first card I made, but after looking at it when it was all done, I was kind of wishing I would have done that, so I'm doing it for this one. So I'm tearing down one side and across the top. If your, whatever paper you're tearing has a white core, as this one does, and you want that to show, you make sure that you tear your paper towards you like I'm doing rather than away from you. When you tear away from you, you end up getting your torn edge looking like that. And not all paper or cardstock has a white core to it, so, but regardless of that, even if it doesn't have a white core, you're still going to get this feathery effect when you tear towards you, as opposed to, you know, just the straight torn edge there. Okay, so now I can go ahead and stamp this stamp, which is like the postage with the cancellation there. And I am going to use, I think it's this color I want to use. Maybe I want to use, actually, let me see the colors in here. There's Petal Pink and Flirty Flamingo. I need a piece of scratch paper. I just want to see, because Petal Pink is so light, I'm not sure even if I stamp it full strength that it's going to show up on there, but I also don't want it to be dark, so let's just see what this looks like. Oh, that will work, I think. Yeah, that looks good. So I'm just going to stamp it right down here in the corner. Good. And now let me see if I have enough ink on my tool here to go around and do a little inking on the edges. I'm using Vintage Photo. Getting my vintage vibe on today. All right, and then I want to do that to this piece also, because this letter was written a really long time ago. And who knows where it's been stored, but it's just gotten pretty old looking over the years. Okay, so there's that. And then I am just going to take my bone folder and give that kind of a little curl. I'm going to be putting some other stuff here, so I don't really need to put any other folds in it too much, I don't think. All right, so I think that piece is ready. And then next, I've got a little photo in here. Not that, but this. Look at her. Okay, so where did I get her from? I got her from this package of collage tiles Ideology from Tim Holtz. So there's some fun little photos in here, and then just random little things that you can collage with or use in whatever way you choose. So we're going to just dress this picture up a little bit. And make it look a little vintage and old, and it's been stored away in a trunk somewhere with this letter. Who knows? This is my old distress tool that I got way back when from Close to My Heart. You can also do this with the blades of your scissors if you don't have one of these things. All right, so that is good enough for that. And then we're going to do this. This picture's a little worse for the wear because I'm going to put some creases in it. Okay, that's beat up enough for that. All right, so we've got those pieces, and then I have all these little, hey Nancy. Oh, so did that, Patty, I guess that explained my distressor tool. It's an old one from Close to My Heart. Pretty much the same as the little, oh, you know what? I forgot about my little one that you gave me. And I have it hanging right here. I'll bring it over. I should have used it. It's so pretty. I just have it hanging here as a decoration. There's the one you gave me. Isn't it so cute? Okay. Next time I will remember to use that. And thank you again for it. Okay, so anyway, I have all of these little sort of folded note envelopes. I wanted a little envelope, and they have little seals, and I know I got these from Temu. So there's all kinds of them, and I'm kind of thinking if I don't turn around and just use the inside, I was kind of thinking that one. I think that looks pretty with it. Ooh, I don't know. Okay, how about if I lay three or so out here and you tell me which one you like. I don't want to go with any of the dark ones, I don't think. Okay, I'll do 4 because that one might be kind of interesting. Okay, we'll look at these 4 and give me your opinion of which envelope I should use. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one should I use? And keep in mind, I'm going to be using the back side. So the only thing that's really going to show is the flap. I mean, show the design very much. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one should I do? Patty's choice is 4. Anybody else have an opinion? Oh, my hands are so cold right now. I don't know why. 4. I've got 2 4s. Patty and Danita both like this one. That one really is pretty. Okay, so let's just do 4. And then do I want the A? What should her name be? Annabelle, we could do an A, or we could just do this little seal here. I don't really want to do, I wanted it to look like the wax seal, so I think we'll do the A. Too late, Nancy, we already picked 4. All right, so let me fold my little envelope. It's got little score lines on it for you, which makes it handy. I think these are really cute. Okay, and then, oh, so there's going to be more design showing than I thought. That is so pretty. All right, so let me put a little bit of glue on here. It's pretty lightweight, what I would call a feathery feel paper, if that makes sense. I'm just going to hold that in place there for a second. I should have done my inking before I glued, but that's all right. Okay, because I want to do this. Yeah, you know, everybody's, all of our Wi-Fi, and when we actually see things, you never know what the delay is. It doesn't bother me that I'm getting ink in there because I'm going to close this envelope anyway, so not too much of that will show, but I do want to get around the flap here. And along the top. Okay, that is so cute. Very pretty. All right, and then we are going to put one of these little seals on it. And these are washi. So that white border is pretty much going to blend in, so I'm not too worried. I could always cut it if it doesn't look like it's going to blend in good enough, but I think it's going to mostly just melt into the envelope there and not really show, so that's good. So there we have those pieces and this, and I've got these are ephemera that came out of something. I've got a container like this one that had all these envelopes in it. You know, these are those like suitcase ones you buy that are full of all these little boxes. And I've got a box like this that is completely crammed full of postage stamps. When I was working and I opened the mail, I would save cool looking postage stamps. So I've got a ton of them that I saved from when I was working. And ones, you know, if they come in the mail here and they're cool, I do that. Some are just stamps like I bought. Plus then I have Tim Holtz's postmarked sticker book. So if I end up not wanting to use that, I will find something out of there to use. But I think I have all those pieces ready. And then, so let me just set these kind of up here. I've got a, I think this is a coffee dyed Yeah, this is, I have to smell it to see. Coffee dyed doily. I had to think for a second. I'm just going to trim off these funky little bits that stick out there because I don't like it. There's not too many, so at least that's good. Now, Patty's given me some of these, and some I have made myself. Some are coffee dyed, some are tea dyed, but I'm pretty positive this one is coffee dyed by the way it smells, which I love. Okay, that's good. Okay, so there's that. And this is for the inside of the card. Oh yeah, I wanted to stamp that little postmark in here too, so I will do that. And while I'm thinking, I will do this. I think it's S-O-F-I-A, isn't it, Sophia? Could be wrong. Maybe Nancy has it right, and I am wrong. Okay, so I'm going to ink around the edges of this, and this is a piece of, or what I used for my card base is Stampin' Up's Petal Pink cardstock, in case you're wondering. And that is all I'm going to do of that. I could get crazy and ink the whole inside, but I'm not gonna. But I am going to put this in there. Oh, let me stamp that first. And I am going to use Petal Pink for that. That was the color I used on the front of that patterned paper. Do I want it down there or up here? Oh, I think I'm going to put it up here. There we go. Cute. Now, this could be a card that you send to someone, or this could be like a journaling card to put in a journal. You can use it however you would like. Oh, my glue, look at. Don't want to waste it. I don't know if it's the temperature that is causing that, but this roll is not very good. So there. That's what I'm saying. It's not very good. Look. Dumb thing. Okay. I think I've got enough adhesive on there anyway. Wonder why it's doing that. I've had really good luck with these rolls of adhesive, but not this one. I think this is the first one out of many, many that I've had that have been done like that. Okay, there we go. So that is that. All right, so next, I am going to put this on, and I am going to line it up differently. I'm going to line it up just like that. So my card is only going to show across the top and down the left side for something a little different. And since my glue runner's being stupid over there, I'm going to just use liquid glue. I'm reading comments real quick. Ooh. Okay. Right before bed last night, I don't know why, what made me start singing "When the Moon Hits Your Eye Like a Big Pizza Pie." So I was singing it and I was saying, "It's bologna," or "It's macaroni." I was making up all kinds of words, and I kept doing it over and over in front of Ken, and I figured that today he would have it playing in his head all day. I'm so mean. But he probably didn't. He probably went to sleep and totally forgot that I even did that. I think I said it was spumoni, macaroni, rigatoni, everything I could, bologna, and anything I could think of. Okay. Slide that down just a little bit. Yep, now you guys are going to have it in your head all day. Na, 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 na. All right, so there is that. Next is going to be the wonderful coffee stained doily. Wish you could smell it. It smells divine. Well, Ken and I started watching Survivor, the newest Survivor, last night. We haven't watched Survivor in years because it seemed like it was just, you know, different people, same thing. So we kind of just lost interest for a while. But since this one was bringing back all people from past survivors, including one or two from the very first one, at least one gal who got kicked off. Oh, I shouldn't tell you in case you haven't recorded and haven't watched it. But anyway, yeah. So because we're having a hard time finding anything on TV that we want to watch, we decided to watch that. Okay, so I am going to kind of wanted this with this cool part of the darker staining to be on here like this. And then I am going to fold this over to the inside here because why not? instead of cutting it off. Fold it over and let it be pretty on the inside. That was my thought. I don't know what I got on there. Okay. Ooh, those colors are pretty together. All right, so there's that. And now then, we're going to do kind of a little cluster thing here. So you could totally just make this cluster and not even attach it to a card. That's what's fun about this die set. If you're coming in late, I'm going to set it here so that you know what I'm using. The Just a Note dies from Stampin' Up. Okay, so I'm going to just put a little bit of glue on the back of this. And it's going to go right here. And then the picture is going to go over here. So let me just put a little bit of glue. I'm just going to put it right in the middle. I don't want everything just like plastered down flat because we want it to look like you've found this in the old trunk up in the attic, and you know, they've just been clipped together here. So let me put a little dab of glue on the top edge of this little paper clip. I think that's enough to hold it just fine. We're going to slide that right on here and hold it down till it sticks. Okay, so we've got our little cluster, and now this can go on here. Yeah, I really like the look of letting things pop up on here. That's cute. Okay. Now I just have to decide if this is the stamp little things I want to put over here. It's the blue one that's throwing me off. I'm just trying to debate if I want to have the blue one or not have the blue one. Kind of like the different color. Yeah, I think I like it. It's just a little something different. So we're going to go with it. And you know, this is printed on both sides, so I think that's interesting too, that I'm sure that probably came from something I got from Temu. Now, do I want to put it this way? Oh, yeah, I kind of like it like that, actually. Okay, so we're going to go with that. And there you have it. Let me see if I can get whatever that is off with my little gum eraser here. I don't know what I touched. I think it's a little bit of glue, but it's not wanting to come off, so I'll just leave it alone, making it worse. Cute. Hi, Beck-Ann. All right, let me show you the other one I made, because this one's got the guy on it. So I did pink for girl and blue for boy. Not that it matters. But I think those are fun and cute. And like I said, it can be a card. And you're probably thinking, what would you use that card for? Well, you could use it for anything you want. I think it would just be fun, a fun something to send to somebody, especially if they're into the whole vintage type vibe. Send it in Happy Mail, send it just as a, you know, brighten your day card, fun something. You can make it into whatever kind of card you want, or like I said, you can use it as a journaling spot in a journal. You could tuck this into a pocket into a journal. You could glue it onto a page, glue the back onto a page. That would be fun. Cute, cute, cute. So there is that, and let's have story time. Still reading out of I Thought Growing Old Would Take Longer, little cute book that Nancy sent me. Nancy, who is Handy Scandy on here. And we are here. Getting older is no problem. You just have to live long enough. Oh, look at that otter. We have otters in the aquarium here where I live. It's a big aquarium. And they have an outside big pond area. Look at this dog. When you are dissatisfied and would like to go back to youth, think of algebra. Aw. Old age isn't so bad when you consider the alternative. What is that? What is going on with this guy's? Hey, this looks like me when I had Bell's palsy. 2 times I've had it. For sure. Looks like me. What is this little guy? I know what is he? I can't think of what they call them. Be eccentric now. Don't wait for old age to wear purple. Hey, that's what I say. I'm not scared to wear bright colors. Starting to think I'll never be old enough to know better. That's for sure. All right, I'm gonna stop there. I'm making this little book last. It's just too fun. All right. Okay, I have to see what Nancy's going to try. Fun and educational and got me moving, decided on my next challenge. Oh, conquer challenges. I've never heard of that. And you won your very first medal? What is that? Wombat. Yes, I think you're probably right. Is it Lori? Hi, Lori. I don't think I've seen your name on here before. And if you've been on, welcome back. There we go. Well, welcome, welcome. Happy to have you. All right, you guys, I think that is it for today. And I hope you like my little vintage themed cards with this fun set. I just think there's a lot you could do with that. And of course, Anna's stamps from Sweet Miss Daisy Designs. You can find her on Etsy. She has lots of fun stamps. And this one is particularly fun to do this kind of stuff with here. And it's called Correspondence Bits. And again, if you missed when I said the little letter that I used up here is actually from her grandfather to her grandmother. And you can read it. He wrote it, it says Bighorn, Montana up here. Dear sweetheart, April 24th/28. I went to the big city yesterday, had a grand time, spent all my money, and I can't make that out quite. I'm going to get Sparky today. I don't know. Anyway, you can read most of it. I just think that is so sweet that Anna had that made into a stamp. And it was perfect for this. So you guys have a great rest of the week. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. And I hope the weather is getting a little bit warmer where you are, at least. It certainly is here. And thanks so much for being here. I'll see you in my next video. Take care, be crafty. Happy stamping. Bye-bye.